Hey, waking you up with a smile. A Wisconsin woman in custody following charges in the death of a 4-month-old child. Let's talk about it. Hey. Anyway, that would be if we were.
Lord,
if we
did you just have a flashback,
yes,
dude?
that would be like if it was morning radio. But a lot of you guys use this as a morning show. So yeah, good morning. Yeah, but unfortunately, this is a horrific story. But this is what we talk about on this show, and I don't know if it raises awareness for just don't be like this human being. But you think about it, there's a lot of people out there like this. This is the story of Marie Spaude.
Spaude. I think it's Spaude.
I don't know if it was one of those where it's like, it's Spade. Well, it looks like Spaude. Spade. 54-year-old woman from Rothschild, Wausau, Wisconsin. This is right in your neck of the wood. Has been taken into custody nearly a year after being charged in connection with the tragic death of a 4-month-old child in Wausau. Spaude faces a felony charge of child neglect where the consequence is death, along with additional related charges. The case dates back to the early hours of September 23rd, when emergency responders were called to the home on Jackson Street in Wausau after receiving a report of an unresponsive infant. According to the incident report, the child was found without a pulse and had blood coming from his nose when paramedics arrived. Despite their best efforts, the child was pronounced dead at the scene. Witness statements provided to the police indicate that Spaude was responsible for watching the child during a party that took place at the residence. She was reportedly expected to remain sober while caring for the infant. However, that complaint alleges that Spaude consumed a significant amount of alcohol, including multiple 40-ounce bottles of Mickey's malt liquor and a considerable amount of beer. One witness told authorities that he went to check on the baby and discovered that the child was face down with his head positioned beneath Spaude. Another witness reportedly rolled Spaude off the child and lifted him up, but he was already lifeless. According to the complaint, Spaude slept through the entire time that the police and paramedics were on the scene, desperately attempting to revive the child. An autopsy later determined that the cause of death to be probable asphyxia due to overlay, citing that the fact that the infant was found prone under an adult. Other contributing factors also supported the conclusion. According to the report, following the incident, an arrest warrant was authorized in June for Spaude, who had been free on cash bond ordered in March. Charges against her were mended on June 21st, leading to her eventual arrest. Spaude is currently being held at the Marathon County Jail and was scheduled to appear in court on Friday, August 10th. It's a horrible, horrible case. My God. Yeah.
Can we talk about Wisconsin for a minute? We've talked about it before, but I think, I think this, I want to be careful because these people are in my backyard, like almost literally, but it goes back to the drink Wisconsinably. There was a meme going around about like the worst cities as far as alcoholism.
All of them.
Someone said, that's exactly what it said for Wisconsin, was all of them.
Yeah.
And, we've got big problems in this country that need to get fixed. I get that. We're about to head into an election. Things are, we need them to go a certain way. I'm just going to say that. Wisconsin, you need to get control of your drinking. Okay. I'm from Minnesota originally.
It's like telling that to Germany, really. It'd be like going to Germany and get, guys, no more beer gardens.
Well, pare it down just a little bit, because I'm astounded at how drinking is acceptable at every fucking event, including church picnics.
Yep.
I'm being from Minnesota. When I came over here, I was astounded that people joked about drinking for Jesus.
Oh my God, I haven't heard that one.
Oh, that's a thing. Yeah, we drink for Jesus.
Drink for Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
church picnics. They have kegs. They have kegs at church.
Oh,
picnics.
I know that. I've been to many of those, but I've never heard the term "drink for Jesus."
Oh, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. And coming from Minnesota, a big Lutheran state,
yeah,
liquor stores were operated by the government. They would close they were never open on Sundays, and they closed like at 7 on a Saturday night. They closed at like 6 on weeknights. Big deal. Like, kids could not into bars. Here in Wisconsin, you just need your parent to walk you into a bar if you're underage.
I think you have to stay there with them. You can't just like drop them off, but you can sit.
No, you'd have to be there, but they could hang out with you. They could even drink with you.
Oh my God.
Never did that in Minnesota.
Oh, totally. It sounds horrible, but so many fond memories of my childhood are sitting at a bar and pretending I was a grown-up drinking what we called it there, kiddie cocktails, which is a Shirley Temple. And everyone just thought it's always so cute that your kid's at the bar, and they usually had like cheese and crackers or snacks or whatever. And you'd sit there and enjoy that, look what's on the TV, maybe get a quarter and go play Pac-Man while your parents sat there and drank. And it would be the first event to going out to eat at virtually any restaurant. You first go to the bar and get double bubble, where they give you 2 drinks for the price of 1, usually served simultaneously. So you're sitting there double fisting drinks, or your parents are when you're a kid. Actually, you are too, because they'll give you 2 kiddie cocktails as well.
Yeah. And they're trying to get you into it.
And you sit there and you're like, oh, this is fun. This is adults. This is, you felt like a grown up. And I still look back on it. My parents never were out of control with their drinking. So I have that to say. But obviously there's many that are. So luckily, I guess luckily and unluckily, some of my fond memories are of that. And it's kind of a weird, warm fuzzy that, a lot of people wouldn't think of is that, for being in a bar a lot as a kid.
I'm looking something up here. I'm just waiting for my internet to load it. This is WisconsinWatch.com.
Yeah.
Do Wisconsin residents report excessively drinking more alcohol than those in other states? The answer is yes. In 2022, Wall Street Journal ranked Wisconsin as the nation's drunkest state based on self-reporting, with 25.2% of Wisconsin residents drinking excessively.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
No.
And so we go back to this story of, a 4-month-old who can't fend for themselves. They're being babysat. Accidents happen. But to me, this is a symptom of a bigger problem. You've got somebody who knows that they have a child in their care, and they are so entranced by alcohol, which didn't just happen overnight that they went, oh, I'm going to get blasted today. No, this is a cultural thing in this state.
That's the difference in that state than any other state, because you don't even realize that there's like excess. I mean, because it's everything. Yes. That behavior is normal.
It is.
I honestly can't say that I ever really seen a whole lot of violence in bars, but I was a kid, so we were usually out of there by like 9 o'clock. And even when I lived there, I did it in Wisconsin. I don't know if it's because people have such a higher tolerance that it's a little more, I don't know, it's less stuffy. It's more laid back in Wisconsin bars. But to your point, the dangers that go along with all that, and people just being out there driving at night, that's got to be another one that goes up exponentially in terms of risk.
Well, and I know I think I've shared this before in our podcast, but Dave, my former radio partner of 16 years, we did this little segment of guess how many DUIs this person had.
Yeah.
And so we'd have stories from throughout the entire state of Wisconsin. And for some reason, I don't know if the laws are quite lax here in Wisconsin for drinking while intoxicated, DWI, but I call them DUIs. That's just what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. I think the most that we ever had that I saw of a case was 16, that this person had basically just kept getting out. Like they'd be arrested for driving while intoxicated and they get out, and they get arrested again, they get out. 16. over like a 10-year period. And I'm thinking after 3, you've got a fucking problem. But you got to 16 somehow?
Yeah.
That's how people die.
Yeah.
You know, I understand if you get 1 and, you know, it scares you straight and you're like, okay, I'm never
Sure.
going to do this again.
Sure.
Well, somebody who's getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, they're not learning from the mistake.
No, they don't care.
No. And that's just
all.
it. They've got a problem. And I don't have a problem saying that alcoholism is real. It's a disease. But for fuck's sake, if you know you can't keep a job because you can't drive to the job because you keep getting arrested, get some fucking help. We need to do better as a state.
I compare Wisconsin to Cheers. You know, if you were to break down all those characters on that show, are they all alcoholics? Yes. But when you watch Cheers, did you ever sit there and think, oh my gosh, Norm that alcoholic or Cliff that alcoholic or anybody?
No.
You were so entrenched in the story and the character and all that, that's how it felt. It didn't feel like there was a problem or anything was wrong when that's the only thing that you know.
Yeah. And to our point, it starts at an early age because it's normalized for children to that it's normal to be doing this. And I'm not saying that drinking alcohol is bad. Believe me, I love a good drink. But it doesn't have to be part of my activities. Like when I go to a concert, I don't have to have a beer in my hand.
No.
When I go to a sporting event, I don't have to have a beer or anything else.
And you're the minority in that state. Yeah.
I think I've lost some friends because of my lack of drinking. There's one friend that we just fell out of friendship, I guess. And I think it was because I expressed some concern over drinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that will happen.
Yep, it will. And I didn't mean to be pushy or whatever, but I guess I was concerned because every activity had to do with drinking. It wasn't just the activity. It was, well, we need to stock up on this. We need to do that. Everything was about drinking. And I'm like, is that all there is? There has to be more.
When you go to Wisconsin, it's like a different country when it comes to that and the culture. 1,000%. And you don't realize it until you're gone. And then I guess you only realize it if you're not from there and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, that's the state of Wisconsin. And obviously another story relating to alcohol in the state of Wisconsin that ended with someone dead.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.